All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the RDN Roller Show. This is a very special one. We have a world champion in this interview. We have Itan Chavira. Congratulations, first and foremost, on not only the success you've had with the Dangl Dojo. That thing is blowing up. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But also, obviously, congratulations on getting that gold medal for Team USA. You toured up the entire tournament. So, what was that experience like getting back putting the USA jersey back on, obviously?
Yeah, no, thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Dude, and then just thanks for just doing a great job on keeping up to date because the media wasn't that good this year. From my experience, I thought it was just going to be like top notch, throughout the whole year. All
Yeah.
these years, it's like behind the goal, cameras and stuff, instant replays and all that. So I'm just thinking, like with the day and age, I'm like, this is going to be sick. The footage is going to be like next level. And then unfortunately, I kind of got like a heads up from Darren, because everybody else got like footage or like their own camera person and like flown up there. And then I guess like that just wasn't part of the budget for the senior guys. So yeah, it was kind of like disappointment because I'm like, this is probably gonna be my last year doing it, because I hit up Tim and I hit up Darren during like Winter Wars, and I was like, hey, it would be pretty cool, USA, I put my application, and it'd be cool just, one last dance, one more time, and kind of like joking around but serious. And then I'm like, I'm playing hockey a bunch, and I really think like what helped me was Tim saw me play. I put like my own Dangl Dojo team in for the tournament, and we played against the men's platinum team. And I put on a clinic against those. I like went extra hard against the guys. And like we had to beat them too, right? It's just like a fun little thing, and we ended up beating them. So I don't know. I don't know if like I didn't come off the whole game and stuff, and I was literally playing the whole game in a men's platinum. Um, so just kind of like in that experience alone, and then just getting the call up was just, dude, I was surprised. I mean, you guys know yourself, like it's 12 guys, and you know, pretty sure like eight of those guys are probably like, they should like really be like on the team. And then there's like four or five guys that like, they could be interchangeable at any given moment, or and so just getting the call up and getting that like letter in the or in the email and stuff was just huge and stuff. So just again, can't take advantage of, representing the USA, like especially at my age too, like I thought my window was gone. So to get that call up and represent was insane. It was
You're
like,
like a fine wine. It doesn't
Yeah, I
matter.
don't know.
You get better with age. Go on. Well, I was
uh,
gonna say, like you having the Dangle Dojo, like when I came and skated, like it's a bag, right? When you play those little 2v2s and stuff like that.
stops
So
and starts, man.
yeah,
Nobody
it's
wants to do that. Like
I
stops and
guarantee
starts, stops and
I
starts.
guarantee, yeah, you're probably in like one of the best shapes of your life just from like being on the rink every day. And Rob and I literally, it's funny you say that because Rob and I said like Eton the past like 2, 3 years, it's just like you just like I
Took
don't know.
another level. I was telling Ant
Yeah,
that. I
different
was
level,
like, yeah,
exactly.
the last 3 years, it's like, I was going to ask you as a question is, did something click or, maybe you changed different things, maybe just having the Dangle Dojo. But I mean, you really took another level to your game and it's like very noticeable. I mean, growing up, you're one of like all of us, the player to look up to, Eton. You're the original social media creator. You know what I mean? And now, the last 3 years to see it, like I'm like, dude, this guy took a whole other level. Like it was just crazy. Is there any reason to that? Maybe just like playing more, just having more fun.
Yeah, I think so. I think just like, dude, I just being on the rink and just touching the pucks and just trying new things and practicing at like, you know, basic level again. Because I'm teaching like the youth again, right? Or that's what I'm like kind of like capitalizing on, just grassroots type of training. I'm trying to get people like that never tried hockey before, put a new stick in their hand, and the first place they know is the Dangle Dojo. Like that's their childhood, right? Like that's like my angle for the dojo is like not really trying to, everybody's welcome, of course, but like not trying to like grab players from other teams and stuff and like, hey, build a super team and be like, oh, look at the Dangle Dojo, we're crushing it. It's just more of like enjoy the sport the way I started it. Just come out there, and anytime somebody comes to the dojo, it's there to have fun. Like
Yeah.
nobody's gonna make the NHL, nobody's gonna go like, you know, right off like to go somewhere, far. It's just go enjoy yourself. That's the first thing in roller in hockey is just enjoying yourself out there and feeling comfortable. So I guess just like the basic training, I guess just being at the rink, like I work in the film industry, so the the industry kind of like took a dip with all the AI stuff coming in, and they're trying to figure out, negotiating contracts and all that. So I was able to be at the rink for like a year and a half, dude, like just nonstop trying to build this business to where I want it to be, and where it could be. So I guess just being on the rink and just putting in the work was just something that I guess just helped me just be motivated. I've always had this in my back of my mind, and one thing Laura's told me, like when people like you go to the tournaments and stuff, and people are just rooting you on. That's the cool thing about the community. I'm getting people like, hey man, you're playing sick, or like, hey, like these little like things that they're just trying to like sending me like gifts or little memes or anything and stuff. Like people are sending me like ninja stuff or like Rambo with putting his thing on or stuff and shit like that. Just getting
That
like
was a great one.
amped up, right? Like a lot of ninja stuff. And so Laura, what stuck with me in the beginning of the tournament, she's like, "Hey, nobody trains more than you." You know what I mean? And that was like the one thing I like was in my head, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, like confidence like through the roof." Like
Dude.
that's right. Like nobody's shooting more pucks than me in the roller industry. I guarantee. You know what I mean? Like I'm just there. Like this whole year and a half, 2 years, man. I just kind of just almost 3 years because I had the dojo for about a year for myself without telling anybody, and that's when we won State Wars. So
Yeah.
that's another crazy thing too. Like as soon as we won
Yeah.
State Wars in 2022, I was training for a full year and just like low key, no social media, no posting, and then that's when I opened after we won. So I guess, man, just like anything else, just putting in the work. One of my biggest role models in the game is like obviously the McDavid and stuff, but like it's Sidney Crosby, man. Like he's the same age as me, and I like always looked at him and like compared myself, like, okay, if he's still playing, I can still play, and and so that's what's kind of like motivated me as well as just seeing that guy like ages like wine, dude. Like that guy is
Yeah.
he's gonna play till he's 40, dude. He's
Yeah.
gonna
Great.
he
And he's
plays
I
still
till
going to
mean,
put up like 90 points. And
yeah.
like he's
100%, dude.
ridiculous. It's insane. And that's tough for me to say as a Flyers fan. Like Pittsburgh's our rival. But I think one of the things you said that even like with the touches and stuff that you're getting at the dojo, obviously, I think it's the thing in between the two ears, your brain, like the confidence, and you still have passion for it. And like if you could still have passion for it, like you can still go. Right. And I
Yeah,
think
no,
when
no,
you
for sure.
said that, that resonated with me being we're same birth here, right? Like definitely resonates with me. Like I can't, like I don't want to stop. And when I went to the dojo, kind of tying it back is like I felt like a kid again. You know
That's
what I
awesome.
mean? Like I was like, it's like hard to explain until you go there. But like when we decided to go there, I was like, yo, I have to go to this place. If I'm out here, like coming
Yeah,
all the way across the country, like I'm going to the dojo. I don't care what it takes. Like,
that's cool,
but
man.
yeah, it was sick. It was a sick experience, and you got to expand it, right? So
Yeah, were
did
you
you
there
wind up
when
like
it
moving? I was there before you told me you were gonna like move into the next building over or something like that. I don't know if
Oh
that's
wow, dude. Like, yeah, you got a little bit of a taste, just like the
yeah.
half of it. And like and it was kind of doable, right? Like a shooting lane, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, no, it's great, dude. The 2-on-2 was awesome. The drills are awesome because it was
Yeah.
quick. You had to think fast and react fast. So I thought it was awesome. But I noticed in like videos when you started posting them, like I don't know how long it was, but I noticed it was bigger. I was like, this has got to be a different place. Like it doesn't look the
Yeah.
same. The setup was a little different and everything.
Yeah, like it was never supposed to be a rink. It was for my film industry, catering business, and I had all my stuff in there, and I bought this sport court or the still mat just for myself as a present, just in case like, I was working so much. So I just had to like literally I would just invite goalies and be like, hey, one-on-one session, let's go, and like I'll help them out. So I'd get the goalies warmed up, work on like things they need to work on, and of course I'm taking advantage of the one-on-one, right? And working on my movements and so um, but yeah, since it opened up to like the double, dude, like, and as much how even though how small it is, man, we get some good games in there. Like right before I went to US, man, we had like 5 or 6 players show up, and right before like everybody's all amped up for me to go, and so we had some skates before I left, and I always tell people like go extra hard against me, like please, like push me, like I'm gonna go hard against you, like I don't care, like that's the way I'm gonna get better, and that's how we're all gonna get better. And so my core group guys, like my brother and Cameron and Garrett, they always just push me, man. Like Garrett is a freaking animal. You guys always see Garrett on my posts and stuff,
Yeah, I was
but
just gonna ask you about
he's
him.
a
Like,
weapon, dude. He is
yeah.
a
I won
weapon.
30s
Like
with the man.
Dude, he's badass, dude. His skating, his puck control, the way he can like slip through people and like just kind of like a Zygmunt type of feel, like, and he loves the game so much. And so just getting trained and like getting pushed like that, it's huge, man. Yeah, I love those guys for like what they did and stuff for helping me just get ready and stuff all year round. I even texted them after I won and stuff. I'm like, dude, thank you boys like for just like getting me going because again, you guys know how it is. Like you can go out to an open rink and skate by yourself. It's just not the same, man. Like you need people pushing you stuff. Like and that's what I'm trying to build is like people that come around. Like, of course I enjoy the game and I love it, but I'm doing it for competition, man. I love like just like the winning and the losing. I love, just battling. So that's what I'm just trying to like keep the culture in the dojo, like, like it's all fun and stuff. But again, it's fun when you actually can battle and and you get better and stuff. So yeah, man, I just the dojo all around, man. As much as it really like brought life back to me and stuff. It was something that I wanted to do at a younger age. I think everybody wanted to have their own little like rub your dick type of fantasy factory in a way. You know what I mean? Like when that came out and stuff. So that was the vision I had. I was like, man, this would be cool to have my own. So again, it wasn't meant to be a rink, but we made it, and it is what it is. And I've said it before, and it's like an old boxing gym. You know what I mean? You got to respect.
Yeah.
Like we have all the tools in there. We have all the trainers, and we have all the people that are in there. It's a little on the rough edges, but at the same time, it's what you need. It's what
Yeah.
it's what
It
It's
builds
very
world
important.
champions.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's pretty cool, man. So I kind of embrace that. Of course, you live in California, and then you get the Orange County people that are like, oh, it's not polished or it's not like the nicest thing, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, know what, you don't need all that glitz and glamour and stuff. You just need like, you just need the material. You just need the sport core, which is everything, the still mat. And you just need the people to help you train and stuff and just support. So no, man, like the dojo, man, it's pretty cool. I think I've had a whole bunch of people hit me up and say like, hey, I'm looking to do my own. So now that I got that still mat connection and stuff, Tim's still doing like the big rinks and all that, but I was able to work out a deal where I can like set up like little dojos and little backyard rinks and stuff. And
Sick.
so again, it's cool just to have that a connection. So I mean, like just help grow the sport and get these like still mat in different rinks and stuff or different places that can grow the game at least. So but yeah, man, I don't know. I get pumped every time like and I appreciate you guys like big smiles on your face like when you guys talk
Dude,
about dope
it's
I
and
love it.
you've seen it, you
I
experienced
did.
it and
I
it's
was
cool,
like,
it's not a hockey rink and I get discouraged sometimes, but then when I get a smile like you on your face and or kids like this is like the coolest spot ever, like a kid said that today that I'm having so much fun, a new kid, it was like, oh, this is what it's all about.
Yeah, it's and I don't think you probably realize how many people really appreciate it and think it's cool. Like, half of my Pi Hot team talks about it, and it's like they're like, dude, that would be sick to go there. It's like, yeah, like they don't talk about like, going to like a different rink or that. They're like the Dangl Dojo, that'd be sick to go see, and it's a unique place, like you said. It builds world champions, and you got to start somewhere. You can't just,
Right.
build a massive hockey rink with everything in it. Like you start somewhere, and that's like part of the story. And I think it's so sick too, like winning, scoring or having 12 points in this tournament, and a lot of that has to do with how much work you put into it. So
I'm gonna go with 9 points. 9 points. I think you guys gave me too much.
good, you need to talk to
we're
World
going off the
Skate.
stat sheet.
Yeah,
We're
we're
going off
going
the
on.
stat sheet, man.
they gave me a hat trick, and I'm like, oh, this is fake news.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
That's funny.
So talking about Italy and everything, when you were out there, who was your roommate when you guys were out there?
Garrett Ross. So
Dude,
yeah, dude, that guy is a fucking beauty, dude.
Yeah,
He's
he's
so
nuts.
funny.
He's
I had to pick his
nuts.
brain. Like his wife was there, so split it up. Like he was trying to be the boy and like try
yeah.
to sleep in the room and like the team bonding and all that. And I'm like, is your wife here? He's like, yeah, she's like on the other floor. I'm like, dude, get out of here, dude. Like go over there and like pregnant wife, like go over there and like
Oh,
go
shit.
for company and stuff.
Yeah.
The time I had him in the room and stuff, like we talked about coaching and like him growing up and stuff and just the way he thinks about the game and like different plays and like so we really had to like come together real quick and like what type of game plans we're having around the box and stuff. And so it was really cool just to get that time with players that I'm always playing against and going hard against, right? So yeah, Tim did a really good job by pairing up everybody with their line mates and stuff, and D partners with forward partners and goalies. So it was I didn't know how funny this guy is. Dude, this guy is a
Oh,
freaking
dude.
character, man. Like
Dude, he's one of the
stories,
Yeah,
funniest
he's
guys.
funny, but
he
it's
tells
not. It's like
stories so well.
it's almost like a dry sense. Like you know what I mean. He's not trying to be funny. Like
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Not like a class clown funny, right? He's like
yeah,
just like what he says. You're like, dude, why are you even thinking like this way? You know.
yeah,
But I was actually gonna ask like that. I mean, you kind of answered it, but that had to lead to some of the chemistry you guys found on the rink, right? Like especially when you're not playing traditional like how we see it in the states here where people are manning up or playing a 1-1-2, you're playing box and it's annoying, but you guys have to find a way to break it. And you guys did find chemistry throughout the tournament. I mean, just
yeah,
dominant puck possession. And he's kind of that grinder player, but he's got a ton of skill too. And you're,
100%.
yeah, and like you're kind of the guy with a ton of skill, but you still grind in the boards, right? Like you, I mean, I think Rob and I were texting one game. I think you guys won like literally every single puck battle, like loose
Yeah,
pucks,
face offs.
like
Yeah, it's insane.
everything. So
Yeah,
that had to lead like those late nights where you're sitting in bed, you're just chatting it up about the next day, about the previous game, things like that. And you're right, Tim and Greg do a great job at making sure your roommates are people that you need to vibe with on the rink as well. So do you think that
for
had
sure.
like a big, kind of play into why you guys did wind up gelling after never playing with each other?
Oh yeah, I mean, we a little thing that we did until I forgot we'd watch every game together, like every shift. We'd skip past and just go to our shifts and just see what we could have done better or what was available there, or what could we have done different, or do we come together closer, or like so little set plays, and it was pretty cool. It was just like trying to come together and figure out a game plan against everybody playing a box against us, and except I'm gonna say the best team, and I give honors and respect. And I really hope they just come. I just hope they get better throughout the years. Is Argentina? They played us man on man. First game it was 11-0, but at the same time they didn't play box, dude. Like they were running Travis. They were running people on the boards. Like we didn't expect that, and they were going man on man. So I wanted to shout out to on Argentina on just like fucking playing hockey. Like that's how you're to get better. Play
Yeah,
against the
great.
best, like see what you got, and then go with the game tape later on and be like, what could we have done better and all that. So it just sucks when you get these quality teams that play roller hockey all year round and they box it up, and it's just like, what,
Yeah, you're at
why,
the world
Yeah.
championships. You don't
why?
want to take a step back, play your game. And I'm sure at home they play man on man, or they play that because they're so much faster than the players they're playing against.
Yeah,
And it's weird. They just get timid when they see it. And like you said, Argentina, like it's 11-0, but at least they have the cojones to do it.
yeah. They went after the world championships with a game plan, playing man on man. So it was cool. It was cool to see that. But yeah, no, like overall, just come together with like Ross and all that. It was cool. It's a special thing with the Team USA thing with playing with like, I guess you would say like the top four teams in the U in the roller game. The top four teams, and you're picking three players from each team. Um, it's really cool, and so it was really cool to be able to play with him. And we also won one with a rink rat, and I didn't know how good he was when Haji picked him up. Um, until after we won, and then we tried to get him the year after, and he was just too busy, and then didn't realize like, man, this guy is sick.
Yeah.
Um, I don't forget his name. Ross and what's his boy's name? I don't forget his name.
Garrett Ross's boy,
Yeah.
Shaughnessy.
No, 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 no. Dude, I have the worst of names. He played on rink route with us.
One rink out with you.
Trying to.
Blondie.
No, it wasn't.
Come on, boys. There's a little test for you guys.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
you're.
I'm trying to think back to that year in State Works because that was an epic win. I
He plays
Yeah,
with
mean,
what,
Car Shield. He plays with Car Shield.
plays with Carshield now.
Yeah, and
Uh,
he scored the game-winning goal against us in this year at Narch.
oh,
Think of his name. Anyway,
God.
uh,
Dude, Matt
yeah,
Berry.
Matt
Jesus.
Berry. Yeah, Matt
I'm
Berry.
very, very,
Oh,
dude.
Berry.
I
Yeah,
have the worst name.
he was
holy
he was on my
shit.
fantasy team, and I couldn't get that right. Yeah,
That was a
Barry,
brain buster.
Barry,
yeah.
and Ross, dude. Barry and Ross, man,
Gamers.
gamers, dude. Like
Yeah.
just dogs, dude. Like we need more of those players that come in the sport like that.
Yeah.
Game changer players, dude. And What they're doing with the Car Shield right now and with that crew is like it's those guys, you know. It's
Yeah.
like that 1-2 punch, and of course the Ernies and everybody else in between and stuff. But dude, I love like getting to play with those guys and then being able to play with Ross one more time was really cool. So again, um, yeah, and that's just it's again, one thing that Tim said that like really hit home was like, you know, you guys are 12 players in the US that are representing this team and who we picked and stuff. So, you know, take honor on that. Now, of course we did. Like, I mean, 12 players, dude, in the USA, like to represent roller hockey, you know, even though our sport's small, it's still cool to hear and be part of that. So, you know, he said, you know, one thing is like there's so many guys out there that wish and dream that they can be there. They'll never have a chance there. So again, it was a special moment and just happy to be a part of it, man. You know, so
When you guys when you guys went into the playoffs, you guys played Canada and Italy. That Canada game, usually it's meant to be more of a rival game, I guess you could say, when you are playing Team Canada. A little different look though this year with Team Canada. Was it, did anything change leading into playoffs, or the focus pretty much stay the same with you guys?
it's Canada. You know, you got
Yeah.
Canada. You get like the back of my mind. I'm thinking Leggett's on the team. You know, I'm thinking I'm thinking St.
Like
Cyr's on the team.
Woods.
I'm thinking like Woodsy, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, okay, like dude, these guys are, we got to be ready. You know, it's
Yeah.
Canada. We got to be ready for anything. Um, but then, you put that FU mentality in your mind, like, they're just in our way. We got to knock them out too, right? So again, you get that mentality of like no one's safe. You got to just go and grind it out. And the whole thing with Canada, my opinion, they can, I'm just surprised like where they've gone in the rankings. And again, it is a weird. I was really trying to think about this before I came on. I was like, it was such a weird time to throw the World Championships during like ice season when it's just starting. So you're not going to get like the top guys around the world, which was kind of a bummer, because you want the best of the best. You don't want to just have like a cakewalk and then have like two or three good games and then go to the finals and stuff. So yeah, but again, it was just like kind of disappointing for like the Canadians. Like I know they can be better, and I've seen it when I played, and they were like the top dogs. Like they were always in the way of winning it. So
Yeah.
seeing a lot of these teams, not having their full roster or being able to have like the best, kind of was like a bummer for myself because I'm like this could be like the last one, and I didn't. I wanted the best of the best. I wanted to see everybody at their best. But unfortunately, it is what it is, and I guess people had decisions to show up if they really wanted to as well. So again, I was
Yeah.
looking at it like that as
Yeah.
well.
Absolutely.
We talked about it extensively on kind of the first part of the podcast, and then several other ones, like what's going on, asking the question like is it people don't want to play, or is it people not being at? It's a whole lot going on. So to your point though, like you did have to knock them down. They're in your way. It's a quarterfinal game at that point, right? You have to play them, and you have to work on things that you need to work on for the semifinals and then eventually the gold medal game, right? So it's one of those things where, no matter who it is, you're going to play your best. Like you said at the dojo, right? If you're showing up at the dojo, you're putting in the work, you're playing hard. Like it's, it can still be fun, right? Competition should be fun, but like you have to play your game and you have to work on things and try things out. Like you said, with you and Ross too, like, hey, we didn't like what we did in this game. Let's try it in this game. We're up 5 or 6. Let's try it, So, but that led you to Italy, which let's talk about that real quick. Like playing Italy in their home country, like that had to be sick, right?
And didn't they score the first goal too?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
went
they
up
did.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They scored
early,
the
like
first goal too, and
yeah,
that's like
early too.
you kind of want that, because to get that thing going, everybody was just cheering, like give the crowd some hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that was cool though, man. They played hard. They had some really good players on their team and stuff. I forget this one guy. He played for Car Shield back in the day. I
Yeah,
think,
Benrame.
Yeah.
dude,
Tobiah.
he's
Yeah,
nice. He's nice for
Good.
sure, man. I like the way he plays and stuff. So, it was cool though. We went to that double IHS with PAMA this year, and we got to play Team Italy in a small little rink, and they boxed it up on us, and they were beating us 1-0 in the first period, going to the second, and then the final score I think was like 9-1. We just
blew it
our
open.
PAMA line. We have three first lines, right? So
Yeah.
one wave, second wave, third wave, all hit this like back to back to back. that's like Team USA too. If all our lines are scoring back to back to back, crushes teams, man. Like crushes like what's
Yeah.
going on? Like there's no chance. Like so being able to play against Italy early in this year was a great confidence boost for myself too, because I'm like, all right, beat this team with my PAMA team, and now we got USA, like we got like top dogs too. So I'm like, I wasn't even worried. So just and then plus having like Trav or Travis no, but obviously having Troy in net and stuff, and Shinny, like, dude, it's just in a small net, dude. It's like, come
Good
on, those
luck.
guys are not gonna
Good
let
luck,
more than two
Chuck.
goals in. You know what I mean? Like, and if they do, it's like it was a screenshot from in the championship game of Czech, where Troy didn't see. It was just that perfect shot. It was that
Yeah.
perfect screen, right?
And
Um,
I feel like a lot of the teams do that long shot screen shot, and that's like their best chance at getting something dirty and greasy or deflecting off a guy's skate, whether it be their own player or yourself, right? Like that's how they play. And there was a little bit of revenge, and I don't know if Tim mentioned it, but like obviously, a couple of
oh
years
yeah,
in Argentina, they beat us, and like I mean, we were talking about it too. Like I'm sure Tim was fired up for that one, and then
fired up, dude,
dude,
fired up, dude. He
because
was
we got
he
kind of
was
both.
like
We got
he,
screwed in that game. Like,
he
we'll
talked
talk
about that
about
like at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, dude. He
I
was like,
figured.
oh yeah, and I watched that game too online. I'm like, dude, that just messed up, dude. Like,
Yeah, dude. It was like
blowing the
two
whistle because they forgot to start the time, and then disallowing a goal, so, like disallowing two goals, like
back to back.
back to back, dude. It's
It's
just,
nuts.
and but
Well,
that's how I feel though too. With just this whole like tournament series, like nobody wants USA to win, dude. Like
yeah.
all our games are late at night, our
It was like
playoffs,
10 o'clock at night,
Yeah,
all
that
your
was
dude.
games.
Like
brutal.
they
And
try
then your
little things.
championship, then the
Yeah,
championship was like
so we were
early.
playing like 10 o'clock games, and the Joker floor. Let's talk about the Joker floor, and their tiles are smaller than actually still mat. They're like almost like
They're
they're
10
just little,
inches.
they're
Yeah,
just
they're
little
10.
guys, right? So when that puck would go across, it would actually like pop up a little bit. So like
Yep.
I was struggling on a one timer. Like I couldn't find a one timer to save my life, and I was shooting it over the net, shooting it over the net, over the netting, and I just couldn't find it. So after our 10 o'clock game, I would go on the rink, and I was telling boys, I'm like, let's go do some practice right now. So we'd go get some reps like right after, and they're like, dojo time, let's go, So like
Let's go.
we'd go
That's
out
like Herb
there.
Brooks stuff right there.
Yeah, no, 100%, dude. Like how to find the shot, and so the tournament like ladies screams bloody murder, like get off the rink, and we're just like looking at her like, yeah, sure, It's like we kept on going and going and going until like they had to tell Tim, and Tim had to like, hey boys, it's time for you guys to get off the rink and stuff.
That's
Like any
awesome.
little thing, like just to shoot around. The rink was wide open. Um, the
Who-
bummer part about it was one rink, so we didn't get like a practice every day, kind of like double IHF. Like you'd get a
Yeah.
practice and then you'd play your game. So you wouldn't have that like luxury. So trying to find your shot and just trying to get used to that rink, because that rink's huge, was the hardest thing. So every night, even though they kicked us out the first night, the second night we'd go, and the third night we'd go. Just kind of like just test the waters, and just kind of we knew everybody's against us. So I'm like, you know what, like they're just gonna yell at us. Who cares? Like they just try to get that shot. So actually, that after the first night, we went out there. Travis gave me like a one timer backdoor on the power play, and I was able to rip one from like the top of the circles. And I was like, in the practice, I was shooting over the net, but in the game, when it like really counted, like
Found it.
Matt
Yeah.
found it. And so like the little things like that like helped a lot. And the boys are like, they're all having fun with it too, because they knew we were gonna get kicked out, but like I was taking the lead and they're just following. I'm like, let's just go, who cares?
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, just getting used to that Joker floor was tough itself. And the flooring was so huge, man. Like I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. The hardest skate we had was our first practice against we had like 30 minutes for a practice with the Team USA with our own team, and we played a scrimmage for 30 minutes. I'm gonna say that was probably the hardest skate throughout the whole tournament, because everybody was going. And I almost thought I was gonna throw up because we were going like a little extra too hard. The
Tim and
boys are all amped
Tim
up
and
to play.
Greg skate you too. Like it's nonstop. Like I remember the Argentina practice. I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna make the tournament. Like
Yeah, no, for sure. And that skate really helped us. And then again, everybody played box. It was more like a control. We were kind of able to like just cycle up in the center of the ice and stuff, and just kind of, move the puck around and get used to the feel of the rink and stuff. So that helped too. As much as we hated the box, it helped us because it saved our energy, and we were just able just to move the puck and find those open opportunities when it was there. So it was a nice like it wasn't a state wars where you're battling day in day out, and then on Sunday, dude, you playing three tough games. Like this
Yeah.
was a whole different mindset, man. Like you had one game a day, and you had to really like get yourself pumped up for that one game, whether it was in Argentina, whether it was Canada, whether it was the Czech in the final. Like mentally, you got to be mentally tough in that whole day, taking care of your body, depending on what you're eating, go and get some exercise, get some sun, like all the little things, like being in your head all day type of thing was pretty crazy. It brought me back to like pro life again. Like, and I'm like, definitely don't miss this. I
Yeah.
definitely don't miss the long days of just eating, sleeping, and playing hockey.
Yeah,
So
then you're not playing till like 10 p.m. at night too, so it's really just kind of like you said, everyone's against you, and then you're just in your mind. You're like, man, it's been like all day, and I still haven't even got on the rink, and there's no other rink to get on because there's only one single rink. So it's not like you just throw your skates on and go, skate around Irvine or something like that to get it
right,
filled.
right,
Yeah,
yeah,
30
like
minutes before, that's it.
I always thought that Asiago was like the best place to do a world championship because they have the Asiago Vipers there. And though that rink's like really small, you at least
yeah,
got like skates there. You know what I mean? During the day, they would just kind of like rotate everybody through that rink for practices. And you used to get like 2 or 3 skates in a world championships. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So at least you're touching the puck, like you said. It gave you something to do during the day. But you guys, it looked like you guys found things, dude. I think I saw football flying around. You guys did some archery. So what did you
Uh,
guys do like off the rink to keep occupied?
so the first day, the boys are pumped. Travis is taking lead. He's like, "All right, boys, after breakfast, let's go play some basketball. Let's take our shoes off and be one with the earth and stuff, and walk on the grass and stuff, and get all that
Eric
good stuff,
Travis.
right?" And so that's
I
that was
love it.
no, he's the man, dude. He does that like his thing. And then the first day, I'm like, "All right, we're doing like football routes with like PJ and stuff and craft." Um, and we're out there and I'm doing routes and stuff, and I freaking eat shit, dude. And I'm like mud all over my pants. I'm like, what the hell am I even doing? Like, I hate running. I never work out. I just play hockey. Like, why am I trying to trying to go all out first day? So again, like the boys are going to like the park and stuff. There's a cool little park, like a long park next to us. So the boys are going out and like just keep doing like little exercises and just getting out. The first day, we were all excited to go out and stuff. And then like after that, man, I was like, I'll tell you the truth, man. I slept the whole time, dude. Like I didn't have a baby with me. I didn't have my wife or anything like that. It was like I literally was like I'm always on the go when I'm back home.
Yeah.
Always on the go. So it was kind of nice just to relax a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the boys we had some like mandatory archery, like just to go do some things, but it was pretty cool, like little things like that. Just kind of it was good for the mind. We did some like team lunches because the hotel was like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but again, it's the same food over and over again. So the boys are trying to find different places just to explore a little bit and just build that chemistry throughout the day and stuff. So but yeah, again, it was like a small little town, so like you can literally do everything in like 2 hours, which is kind of
Yeah. Did you guys
brutal.
see any other teams out? Like when you guys were at dinner or doing anything? Did you see like any other teams?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They had it set up. Every team had their own hotel, and I guess like Tim said something weird. I don't know if it was like true or not. Well, he's like, you're not allowed to go to another hotel and go to like their restaurants or something like that. Which he said that I'm not sure if I like heard it right,
Yeah.
but yeah, every country had or every team had their own hotel room or hotel actually. So it was pretty cool. Everybody had their flags hanging in front of the hotel and stuff. So it was pretty cool to rip around. And I had a car, so I was able to like
Hell
I was able
yeah.
to just, like to rip around. There was like one night after a game, I just took a ride up by myself, and I literally just like got lost and it like I was going like I don't even know where I was going. My phone was dying. I didn't have my charger. I'm like, oh shit, I need to turn
Dude,
around.
living the dream, man.
That's how
Yeah,
I misses game one because he just
yeah,
went.
exactly right. So
Well,
I was just
you got to be careful there too because Italian drivers are like no joke. Like there's
oh
no parking spots. They just like pull into a spot and it is what it is. If there's an empty space, it could be a parking spot there.
oh for sure. Yeah, this is like we're up in the mountains and stuff. So it was a little. I'm kind of used to like the mountain area. Like it reminded me where like I was born in Big Bear up in California. So it reminded me exactly the same like the scene and like just like the whole atmosphere there. But yeah, no, It was really tough. I think that was the toughest for me. It was like missing my family and my family not being there, and then just like the one game a day, man. If I can change anything with World Games, man, I mean, I would love to have 2 games a day or something like that, or
Yeah.
just to kind of get going, or at least a morning skate just to kind of get going. But yeah, trying to figure it out, like not doing anything all day and then playing a 40, 50 minute game was kind of tough at times. Like it can be tough on a lot of players too because you want to get yours, right? You want to go out there and do the damn thing and score a goal, make some good passes, make some plays, and sometimes the game just goes by too quick, or the shifts are not going your way, right? So, and again, you're playing against a box, so again, you can't really force anything out of there as well. Because one thing when you're playing with Team USA and just like any top tier team, like you're not going out there to try to like showboat and like try to go and like make highlight reel goals and stuff. Like you have a coach, you have a coaching staff, and you got to do the right things because when the time hits and stuff for the big moments, like if you're doing everything right throughout the whole tournament, you're gonna get called. Your line's gonna get double play. So again, that's the mentality that I had was like I can go out there and I can go against Argentina and I can go between the legs and I can like do spinoramas and like Michigan's if I wanted to do something like that. But at the end of the day, that's not gonna win anything. It's just gonna be more like an ego boost at the end of the day. Um and so again, like my mentality was, and I was telling the boys like, hey, let's change when we have the puck. Like how awesome is that when you can change the puck and the next line doesn't even have to chase the puck and they got possession right off the bat. So I think little things like that, like just to let people know, like if you can be a role player like that, like which you have to be on these teams, it goes better and it's sweeter at the end. So
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy even to have to say like a role player because there's so many all-stars on that team and the lines, but you're exactly right. Like if every person tried to play their own game, just, Travis out there toe dragging, doing what he wants, and like you said, you doing Michigan's, whatever, like it's going to be highlight reel. You're probably going to still win, but it's not going to be a real effort and a team effort like how a hockey should be played. So you're 100% right. And that's, great advice, especially for the youth too, to hear because I think they just, sometimes get caught up in being the man or being that person.
right, again, a highlight reel real quick,
Mhm.
and um, yeah, just stuff like that. So again, it goes a long way, and it's a team sport at the end of the day, right? So
Yeah.
again, you want to be able to, not try to be like that. Like that when I was scoring and stuff, and I was getting like some points and stuff, like oh Itano, like there's like big game
Yeah.
Itano, he's gonna come in and rip it up again.
Yeah.
Dude, like
Just
like
doing your thing.
just doing my thing at the end
Yeah.
of the day, So it just didn't want like again back in the day, give me all of that like highlights, Dangl
Yeah.
productions, give me all that stuff. I'm young and dumb, right? So now that I'm older and stuff, my game's like gotten just like I matured more in my game and stuff, and due to my brother as well, and see my brother the way he's kind of like aged well with his career as well, and still playing pro at his age. I'm like, it's
Fine
not.
wine too. It's like something in the water, Chaviras, man. I tell you what.
Dude, it's just
The
cool just
call,
to CJ
call
Yoder's the one that led the way. CJ or and what's his name and Cookie,
Cook.
Cookie played when he was 4. Yeah, Cook, he played for USA when he was like 40 and stuff and won it in Columbia. We won it with him and bro, like it's just I love this sport so much as far as like training. Like I'm always gonna play this sport. Like I'm gonna treat it like if anybody like goes to the gym on the regular basis, like this is my gym. Like I don't work out. I just play hockey. I just skate. And the harder I work on, on my drills or my stops and starts, that's my workout, is my endurance. And there's nothing better than a feeling, whether it's ice or roller, but just gliding out there and just freaking just going hard and just like you know
we
full speed with the puck. Like there's not a better feeling than that. Making like this like the sweetest plays at full speed, crisscrossing, and not even like planning it, just kind of going with the flow, and then something creative like comes
Just
about, and then you look
yeah.
back at it, and it's like, dude, that was a beautiful play.
yeah.
Like that's
I was
hockey.
gonna say we need to clip that for all 30 plus somethings who were thinking about hanging them up. You know what I mean? Because how many times like if people said that, like, oh, I'm done, I'm not playing. I say it all the time. Like, but when you explain it like that, it really is. This is my gym. Like going to play hockey is my gym. Like that's my workout, right? I don't need to be in the gym like bench pressing or whatever it is and killing myself that way. I'd rather
You
go
ain't
to
getting a better shot bench pressing.
Yeah,
like
you need a hyper light 270 flex. That's what you need for a better shot.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
there you
there
go.
you
with a
go.
Listen,
square
there, all
toe.
right. Little
All
plug.
right. There's a little, that's the secret sauce right there.
Yeah, 0-2, 70 flex. Spare
Okay.
time.
So, you know, talking about mentality as well too. Going into that Czech game, I think that was obviously probably, you know, the final, like the test you guys wanted all tournament. You know, I'm sure if it was your way, you guys probably wanted to play Czech the first game, you know, just knowing all your guys, you know, how competitive you guys are. Going into that game, you know, in the locker room, what was like kind of, you know, like the mentality? Was it the same thing or was it, you know, like it's, you know, we're here now and it's time to take care of business?
Yeah, it was the same game plan, you know. Nobody wants to say it. Everybody knows, you know, and Tim said at the very end, you know, like nobody wants to say it, but this is the matchup that everybody is kind of planning to see, you know,
Yeah.
is US
I
versus
mean, that was the matchup I wanted to see all tournament. I was like, I
and
can't
that's
wait for
Great.
this.
exactly. And I think that's in everybody's mind. Didn't want to say it early in the beginning of the tournament, but like everybody was thinking that. So Czech, man. I mean, I've lost against them. My last championship, I think when we were in Czech, double IGF, like I lost against them, and dude, that was like the worst feeling ever. And so, again, playing in that double IHS, man, like we got to play against the Czech players at that tournament, and I got to play with the PAMA team, and we got to play in bigger nets. So the confidence was there as well, you know, and even though the nets were smaller, it's just like our game plan was, you know, get in front of the net and just get those scrappy goals. And dude, 2 tips? Are you kidding me? Like
That's
to
what
win the
happened.
game?
With
Like,
the amount of talent on that team,
oh my, those tips alone were just
That
they're nasty.
insane.
They're
insane,
nasty. And
nasty, dude.
I love that for Della because Della is a guy who scores like off the rush a lot. He's got a
Yeah,
wicked shot. The fact that he just got in front of the net and got one tipped in and like, you know, you're technically third line, whatever you want to call it, right? Like you said, every line's the first line, but you know that third line getting that goal right, you know,
huge.
not right after they go to a lead, right? So that's another game where they Czech got out to an early lead with a tip goal, go figure, right, or a screen goal, but
Yeah,
but yeah, it was sick to see. Like you have to go back and kind of go back, like you said, to the roots. Like get back to the grassroots of hockey. Like get greasy in front of the net, create some because like you know, as far as like the goaltending goes, like both goaltenders are unreal. It's tough to beat them in a
sure,
straight up shot with the small
sure.
nets, right? So to beat Brabeck, you're going to need to get in his grill a little bit, and that's exactly what happened. So
Yeah.
you hit the nail on the head with that. Just like kind of jumping on what you were saying there.
Yeah, no, I mean Troy was a big factor. It was like, you know, telling us that the hardest thing to do is like is trying to fight the guy in the front, you know, that screen right there. So again, just get in there. So he was very vocal, which was really cool. Tim kept on preaching over and over and over again about somebody going in front of the net and stuff. So um, you know, Amorte, like literally that goal he scored and he's jumping to you like a little kid. And what do you tell me? During the tournament, he said he was one of the guys. I'm gonna retire. Like I'm done. You know, this is my last year. I'm like, dude, like you're
You're like,
good.
yeah, you're like
Yeah,
25,
he said
26.
that
He's
last time too.
yeah.
He's
It's
nuts.
just because they had a rough, you know, they had a rough
Summer.
summer, you know,
Yeah.
and so again, competition was good. They played against good teams, and you're either going to win or going to lose. And they, you know, they lost majority of the games, but that's why, you know, that's just the way it works sometimes. And so after the tournament, he's like, "I'm back, baby. I'm back. I'm not
Did,
retiring."
did you get to experience any other sports other than hockey with Del Morte? Because that's a trip within itself. Like when we were playing soccer before the games and stuff, he might have been the worst soccer player on.
Oh, football. He had an arm. He had an arm for football. Yeah,
Did you? All
football.
right, there you
Arm
go.
for
All right,
frisbee.
good, good. That redeems him
Frisbee,
a
you know, I'll
little
give him
bit.
at a 10, maybe like you know, I'll give him, I'll be nice, give him a 5. You know, he can
Okay,
work on improvement for sure.
good because
Uh,
soccer was rough for him. Like
Yeah,
playing like
we didn't do this. I don't
level
like
games.
soccer, man. Like this is what I do. Like I always trip like to myself and like to like my teammates. Like when I see like the other teams like warming up with the soccer ball, I'm like, boys, they're not ready. They're training for soccer. You know,
Yeah, it
it's
is. It is kind of funny. Like, obviously, you see the NHL guys do it, but
yeah,
in roller, you're 100% right. When you see sometimes like the other team, and I'm like, all right, like I guess they're more focused on that right now than
Yeah,
this.
it's
yeah,
Like,
more about the bond than anything, right?
yeah,
If it's like someone like eating shit and falling and like being able to rip them. Like our big thing was like Tim would jump in every game as a coach.
dude,
Like he was
Tim
trying to
is.
play he was trying to play every 2 touch game and like you're only supposed to
dude,
touch it 2 times. Tim's like juggling like 30 times. Like Tim, that's not the point of the game. Like,
that's funny,
but
dude. Yeah, everybody's like, oh, because he tried to he's like before we went out, he was like, all right, boys, I found a pickleball court. Bring your pickleball baskets and stuff. So he was trying to get in, and I heard stories about that, and I was cracking up, and that was kind of like the joke, like, oh, Tim, man, this is like his fun time. Like he's just with the boys and stuff, just
I
trying
bet.
to just be like part of the whole team and stuff. But he kind of on this one, he was just like with the coaches and stuff, kind of like the players like do their thing and stuff. But no, I crack up, man, with the soccer thing. Back to like actually when I was seeing all the players like getting warmed up on other teams doing the soccer thing, like, I literally would put my gear, and I'm not that type of guy. Like when I play hockey and I get dressed, I probably get ready in like the last 2 minutes of the game, and I
Okay.
put the gear on like real quick. I'm that type of guy. Junior and I are like one of those guys. Like there'll be like 1 minute or minute and a half, 2 minutes left in the
Do
game.
you like does is Tino a guy that gets is he stressed out about that?
I don't
Like,
know. He hasn't vocally like told us about that, but like at the end of the day, it's like as long as you show up,
yeah, yeah,
don't really
yeah.
say anything type of thing. Like that's my mentality. But um, yeah. So I was doing something different here. I was like because I wasn't playing. We're not playing multiple games a day. I was getting ready like almost 45 minutes before the game, putting my skates on and my everything on, and I was stick handling through the hallway. And while everybody's playing soccer, I'm working on my hands, and I'm just like
Yeah.
looking at people like throughout the eyes and stuff, and like just like making my runs back and forth. And I was doing that like throughout the whole tournament, and I was just cracking up. I don't know, like little intimidation factor, like you guys are not ready. You guys are playing soccer while my hands are getting warmed up, So
Yeah. That's
it was funny. I
hilarious.
don't know, just little funny little things. Just kind of little wacky little things
No,
to do.
yeah, it's like head games, and I like it. It's
Yeah,
funny, to go through that. And honestly, I bet you they're watching you too, being like, "Yo, that's Eton." Like, oh my God, he's already getting ready. Like, just because you know how other roller guys are, especially like that are appreciative of your game. Like, they're
yeah,
probably
yeah.
just like, "Oh, damn, his hands are nasty." Like, probably should go in the locker room and get dressed.
It was funny. The thing about the little warm, like it kind of like it was like intimidation, and then at the same time, it was tiles. So like every time I would stick handle, the puck would flip over. So I'm thinking like if I could stick handle on here, like
Yeah,
go
yeah.
on the rink, it's just gonna be like that much fluent. So it was
Yeah.
little things. I don't know. When you're hockey players, it's like anything in the room, right? Like when you go in the locker room, everybody sits in the same seat, that they went before, right? Like that's the whole superstition type of thing, like, and that's what we did. You go in the locker room and everybody's like in the same lineup as the last game, and then it just keeps on going throughout the whole thing. Like, oh no, you weren't sitting here. Like everybody's switching. Like it was pretty funny. You know how hockey is.
Yeah,
So
unless you lose. If you lose, then you change your seat, right? That's
for
just kind of
sure, for
how it is.
sure,
But
exactly.
so I mean, listen, everything you're saying is what led to the eventual, conclusion of the gold, right? So I
Yeah,
mean, whatever you guys were doing, it worked, right? And it was a tight game. Like throughout the game, did you guys ever like did you just know that it was eventually going to come? Because like when they get that first goal, that's when Czech can fall back in a box, and they like you saw it after that they sat back, right? There was multiple times where they didn't pressure you at all, even when they were down. It was like
Yeah, it was weird to watch.
wild to see. I was like, what the like they're not pressuring at all. Like you said,
yeah,
Argentina played just straight up. Like this is
yeah.
Czech. Like, but did it ever become like any tense moments, or were you guys just like, listen, it's gonna happen. We know the pucks are gonna fall. The puck doesn't lie. Eventually, we're gonna break through this, and we're gonna come out victorious.
Yeah, no, it was just, I guess it was just like just witnessing it live, right? And us winning the puck battles and us controlling the puck and we were controlling the game, and they got that one shot was just like, it was a good shot. But the way we were like controlling, I think what was like the game changer is when once they called a timeout, I think with like, I don't know, like 10 minutes or 8 minutes, like it was a
Yeah.
weird timeout. They called it
Yeah.
within the first um the goalie came out and I asked him after if he was tired because we chatted after and he's like, "Oh no, I wasn't." But dude, he was on one knee and
Yeah.
he was like looking like he was tired. And then the bench too as well. I was looking at them as well and I was like, yeah, these guys are huffing and puffing. Like these guys are tired. And so
Yeah, they
just
called it like midway through the first, 9:33 in the
and I
first.
think we scored right after or
Yep, you
did
scored 2 minutes
Yeah.
after.
yeah, and
Yeah,
then right there, it was like during that timeout was cool for us to like get back in our head and like see what they were experiencing over there on their side and being like, okay, we're controlling the puck. Just stick to the game plan. It's gonna fall our way. Let's go to this puck's, get a man in front of the net and let's create something. And boom, we score. And then that was it, dude. After that, like we had no pressure because we knew the longer the game's 1-0, then you hold your stick a little tighter and then you start rushing things, then the panic can come. So us scoring right away, just kind of gave us that insurance like, okay, we got this game. Just keep on plugging after it and stuff. And we had chances. We had a lot of chances for sure. So um, I think at the end of the day, it's just the boys were pretty confident after that goal getting scored by our first, the third line, first line, what do you want to call it? The young boys, they freaking scored that huge goal to get everybody on the board is huge. Like anytime anytime like a third line scores or a second line scores, it just gets the boys going. Like that's like the beauty of hockey. It's like if somebody gets in a fight in ice hockey and gets the boys pumped up again, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
something like that. So again, we stuck to the game plan, and the rink was so big and we were dominating. I think, the boys, they were pretty in a good spot for this one. So
Yeah, and it's, picking the team, you have a lot of familiar faces, and that last line or just the third line, whatever line you want to call it, it was that really a New York line with Crafty on it as well too. It They have a different style than the second line, and the second line had a different style than the first line, and I think that's what makes USA so hard to play against because you come at them in waves, but you come at them in different waves. It's like Garrett Ross and Itan are two opposite players, but when they're together, it's lethal. And good luck trying to stop either one of them on their game. So, like, yeah, it's crazy to have that much talent, but diverse lines that come at you in
yeah,
different ways.
right. No, it was cool. Like exactly what you said. I wish I would have said that. Yeah. So like every line was different. Like Travis and Junior, PJ, and who else was on their line? And
Yeah,
Savage.
Billy. Yeah, Billy.
Dude,
Yeah.
Billy is
Billy,
unreal, dude. Like
dude.
he break the box and he does this move so simple, and it's like when I watch him play, I'm like, oh, it's like that's like a stick poke check away, and no, like his stick's short, and he just rips around you like all smooth. And then he was finding Travis like backdoor all day, just breaking the box and then passing it across for one time. Like that
I
was
think
incredible just to see them like break the box, kind of like a Junior and Travis type of like how they would do it, but like Billy had his own little sauce, dude, and
Yeah.
Travis, dude, that was like, dude, I love this like the USA, the PAMA thing. Like I got front row seat to watch like the best players to watch, while I'm going next to get mine, right? So
Yeah.
to see them do that and break that box, that was awesome. Ross and I, how we were grinding it out, and we're going with speed, and then a lot of cross drops, and then like taking it to the net hard. That was like another thing, and like Tim gave me the okay to shoot a lot. He's like shoot, shoot, shoot. And so when he gave me
Probably
the
why you had 10 goals.
yeah, so when he gave me the confidence on that, like that was okay. Ross understood the thing, and then our game plan was like backdoor. Like I'm gonna come in hot. I'm gonna go with that hard shot, and then I'm gonna try to give it backdoor to you for that tip of that redirect, and then the other line with Kraft and everything. Those guys are just puck control. They're puck controlling it on the outside
Yeah.
of it, and they were just being patient. And then Joey, dude, Joey had a tournament, man. Joey was on a
Ah,
mission, dude. I don't
His
know if it's from playing in Europe and he knows all the boys and stuff, so his confidence through the roof too. Now that he's with his boys and his brother, it's like you can tell, man. He had the extra step in him, and he was just freaking jumping around out there with speed. So it was pretty cool to see that, and yeah, we definitely had different looks in all different lines. So that was the beauty behind it was you got to play against three different teams.
yeah.
Yeah, the
It
thing with like your whole team though in general is everybody can skate, right? And I
Yeah,
think that's the biggest advantage is like you talked about Joey, his skating looked unreal. Like there was times where he'd go in, bait you one way, throw a quick little pivot, and guys are like blowing by him, not even touching them for like a mile past them. So the fact is that you guys just, I mean, really outskated. Every puck battle was a win for USA. Like I can't even count probably less on one hand like how many puck battles you guys lost, right? Like
yeah. No, rewatching that game, man, for sure. Like that was
there's
that was
nothing.
killer. We were winning everything. And if you guys watched the game, did you see how many times? I think three or four times PJ would step up on that D and
Oh
or
mhm.
yeah,
step up on that play
meet
and
them.
win that battle,
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
just meet them.
Game
Yeah,
changers,
every
like
time they
game
had the
changers.
puck. Yeah, every
Yeah,
time they had the puck and they made the first pass, you guys had a D guy. Whether PJ did it a lot, but you
yeah.
guys had a D guy meet him right away, made him uncomfortable, turned the puck over, and that was it. Then you guys went back to just playing, traditional USA roller, right? Possessing the puck, breaking them down, and it was awesome to see. Just like again, it sucks playing against the box, but against Czech, you know that when they get a break, if they get a 2-on-1, they're going to be the ones that bury it. So you do have to be a little more surgical in how you approach it, right? It's
For
not
sure.
just like, oh yeah, we're going to get one back regardless. It's Australia or whoever it may be, you know?
Yeah, what I gotta give to Czech and stuff, and I've always been a fan of their passing, man. They are the greatest passers, man. Like Jerry told me, like he played against Finland, and Finland was like a really good team back in the day that like moved the puck really well and stuff, and like set plays. But my experience with like World Championship team is, dude, the way the team moves the puck for Czech, dude, it is just beautiful, man. Like you want to be part of that. Like that looks fun to play with, you know. Just guys
Yeah.
that just know how to move to the open guy real quick, hard passes, and the guys are wide open, and then they're making an extra pass for that back door. Like so, that's what like watching all their game tapes and stuff. And the cool thing, another good thing about it was we were able to Czech pretty much played before our game, like the first 3 nights. So we got to watch them play like up and close before we played. And then I guess the Czech guy made the schedule, so they were able to get the 12 o'clock playoff games and rest of
Whoa.
the
You
yeah,
love
you're
how
right.
that works out,
Well,
huh?
you're right, but it's
And
cool.
you guys
So
had an early playoff game after playing the last game of the
yeah,
night. Like
exactly. Yeah.
that would
So
suck for us because, like, from like covering it, we're like, shit, we got to get all this stuff out right away. And then people might not even see it on the East Coast, right? Like,
right.
games at 11 o'clock at night. Like, obviously, if you can follow the website, whatever, but like, and then you guys got to turn around the next day within like, what is it,
Like
like
6
12 hours?
a.m. our time
Yeah,
or
it was like,
something.
yeah, it was basically like 12
That
hours.
was a tough night, the last night, because I was used to going to bed like at 4 o'clock in the morning and making my little edits, off of like the game highlights and stuff. And then and I just couldn't sleep. And so knowing that I couldn't do that for the championship game, like I had to wake up. Like team breakfast was I think at like 9 o'clock, 7 to 9. And so like I went to bed I think at 4 o'clock and I woke up. I actually didn't even go to sleep. Or I went to bed early and I ended up waking up like at 4 in the morning or something like that. And I'm like,
Trying to
what
go
the
back to sleep.
yeah,
That's the
it was the
worst.
worst, right? Like I'm
Uh,
like a kid on Christmas Day, like I couldn't wait to play. It's championship day.
it's not your bed, and like you're like,
Yeah.
I just can't figure it out. And then it kind of
Uh,
throws a wrench into your like day, right? Like,
oh, for sure. I ate breakfast. I ate a good breakfast, and I didn't eat lunch because I didn't want to be full, and then just stuff like that. You just got to change everything. You're eating like 3 meals a day, and now you have like a short day. It's like, okay, you're really you're really thinking about what you're putting in your body because you don't want to be all sluggish and tired and stuff. So that was like a big mental thing as well, So, but yeah, everything that comes in place, man, like the 10 days and just, getting the job done is, getting to the final dance, and then you're like, oh shit, okay, we
Time to
gotta we
go.
got we time to go. We gotta, you gotta finish the job here. And once you win that, get that thing done and you finish and you win the championship, dude, it's like dude,
Yeah,
I mean,
take us through like what was the
tell us.
yeah, what was the post celebration like? The locker room, like what how was it?
all right, so there's ice cold beers in the waiting room. I don't drink, but my theory on drinking is like if I win, it's out of the cup. In this situation, the cup was covered, so we couldn't drink out of the cup. I was like, I'll just take a cold one,
Okay.
but yeah, no, like that's like the coolest thing, man, is winning and seeing all the joy on the boys' faces here. Like we fucking did it, and this is it. It's done. Like everything we did, all the
Yeah.
bullshit, all the good, all the highs, all the waiting. It's done now, and we did it, and it was just cool, dude, man. Everybody was just so happy, and so we go back to the locker room and we get beers and stuff, and we're waiting for Travis. Travis is doing
You're
interviews.
going live already. You're already live on Instagram.
Yeah, he's ready to live on Instagram. Big Travis is out there. He's like, "Where the hell's Travis?" He's like, "Oh, he's doing interviews." Like, we can't wait for after. And like, so we're waiting, and then he comes to the locker room, and all the teams were already lined up outside of our locker room, ready to go. Like, you know, give me this, like trade
Give me
jerseys,
your gear. Yeah.
give me
Yeah.
your hockey skates for $5 type of thing. Like out of
Yeah.
your kid. And so he came in here, and then we all celebrated, did a speech, and then like we just like went hard after, and then we went back on the rink, and it was just a cool feeling, just seeing the job done, and everybody just so happy, and like I didn't see anybody cry, but it was just a good feeling where like, okay, we're back on top, we got the job done, and this is it. But one thing I gotta say is whoever stole my stick out there, man, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do,
Someone
because
stole the stick?
yeah, they stole my Hyperlight too.
Man,
Dude. I'm like, you You guys, man, like
You got.
I know. So
It's like scoring
whoever
a
took
Babe
it,
Ruth home
man,
run ball or
yeah,
something.
please tag me. I'm not mad at you, but yeah,
Yeah, tag it. I'm assuming it has the USA stuff on it and it says
no,
Last
no,
Dance.
I didn't like I actually have the Last Dance stick.
Okay, okay.
I used that for the first two games, and then for some reason I felt like the stick didn't have enough pop in it, so then I
Okay.
switched to Hyperlight 2. And that's where my one timer came through, and that was
Oh,
the
so
stick I finished
they
with.
took the
So
game use stick then. They
I
didn't
used
take
my
the
game use
Hey,
stick.
Bauer, we got to get our boy
game.
Itan a new
Yeah,
stick.
yeah. So that was like straight out the package too, because
Man.
those hyperlights, man, are just game changer, man. Like I get so lucky with like the PAMA deal and Sabraching it up. Like I'll get like 12 hyperlights throughout the season, and like when you open up that fresh one, dude, there's nothing like it. Fresh,
Cherish those things.
like just pops, dude. Like when you
Yeah.
read that, like I'm
That's
like that type of player. If I don't have a Hyperlight 2 stick, if I don't have my stick, I won't even show up to a game, a men's league game. I don't even want to play hockey
Wasn't that
because
how Chucky was on your team at Palma, Anth?
what's
yeah.
that?
Well, dude, Chucky literally showed up to Pommel with
Chucky's.
it. Chucky Slick, like he
Oh yeah,
literally showed up with no stick, and he's like, they don't have a pure hockey. I'm like, yeah, it probably opens at like 10. We're playing. Like you don't have a
yeah.
stick, so he had to use Rob's stick.
Yeah, he used my hyperlight. I gave him my hyperlight, and he was out there using it. He's like, I gotta go
He's
get a
a
fresh
different
one.
breed. He's a
Yeah,
different breed, though.
Oh, dude, no, he's a smart man, dude. He knows the
yeah,
deal, dude.
and
Like,
He
he
and
did.
is.
that's
He didn't
I'm
want
the
to fly
same
with
way.
it. Yeah, he didn't want to fly
I'm
with
a
it.
different player if I don't have my specs. If I don't have my O2, my low kick, 70 flex, bro, and my square toe, I won't even want to play.
I was gonna say,
I'm a
like, you're probably the only one who does Junior still uses square toe, or
Junior uses it. Travis always goes back and forth.
I was gonna say I
Who
haven't
else
seen him
uses
been
it?
using it.
There's not
Yoder
too
was
many.
like, Yoder still uses it. But he cuts it like
Yeah, he cuts it so
half of it
short.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the custom Yoder, man. He has that.
you're
It's
a dying breed with that square toe. I was gonna say because Travis used to use it, but I know the past couple tournaments he hasn't. So
yeah, he
he's
goes in his head a little bit sometimes, and he'll be like, "Man, I don't like the way it shoots and stuff." And then this last one, he's like, "I know the problem. Why I didn't have a good summer?" He's like, "My stick was too long," And so they
that's
like he
I
cut.
get it.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Like
Quarter of an
you
inch,
know,
whatever.
yeah. So he always goes back and forth, but I love Travis with the square toe. Travis square toe is my favorite player, man. Just because,
That toe drag, man. He's
oh,
got
dude,
all
it's
that surface
nasty.
area, you know.
Yeah, I just think like everybody at the dojo, man, like I'll like those alkali sticks, those that come in, like I'll pretty much buy like majority of them, and then I'll sell them to the kids and stuff, like at cost and stuff, and every pretty much all the kids at the dojo are rocking square toes, and they're like top shelf and stuff. I'm like, it's the stick. I told you guys.
You guys are gonna
Like,
have to go to the Dangle Dojo Square Toes or something like that if you're
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
have like
I'm working on something like that. It'd be pretty cool to get all the kids on the like some baby flex square toes, like
yeah.
isn't it
Like
crazy? Like this
paddle
kid
down
came
there.
today. The dojo first time, 20 flex tracer. I'm like, what the heck? Like
That's crazy. I didn't know they had 20
20
flex.
Yeah,
flex, dude. They
that's
actually have
nuts.
like 10, 15, 20,
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
That
It's
thing
insane.
that's nuts. Well, all right. So, talking all this USA stuff, talking roller, I know a lot of people talked about it at the tournament as well too. I was at State Wars. I saw all the Team USA sticks. I was like, this is, just trying to pick like who's is who. Some of them have the different stuff. Yours had the last dance.
Yeah.
So obviously it's hard, to decide, now after winning. But was this the last dance for you at Team USA?
Uh,
Or even in pro roller?
no, not for pro roller. Like I said
Okay.
earlier before,
Good.
it's
Yeah.
definitely I had this conversation with like Travis and Junior too, and more Travis on the USA trip. But like our sport's not that big where it's like winning on top is like a cool thing like in other sports, right? Like a Tom Brady who wins out on top and stuff, his last year and stuff. Like our sport's way too small for that. Like we need players like ourselves to be in the sport as long as we can and then just help guide like the other generation into the sport and so I was telling him I'm like just keep playing dude as long as you enjoy and stuff it's like it's cool we get to go on trips most of the time a majority of the time they're paid for and we get to go some really cool places we get to represent our country and yeah just like uh, as cool as it sounds it'd be like oh yeah this is it I
Yeah.
want to go up the top and I won everything and that was it I'm too hooked to the sport. There's just too many relationships in the
That's what I
sport,
love
dude.
to hear.
Fine line,
Yeah,
baby. Fine
yeah.
line.
There's
Let
just
it
too
Yeah.
out
many
there.
good faces and family and friends that I just enjoy seeing every year. But it was funny. I texted you, so we have like the USA group message, and the boys are still texting to this day, like just chirping and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
everybody blessed crap today on Sunday on his 14 parlay bet, because he's a big better. Like
Okay, that
he
guy.
loves, yeah, he loves
Bro,
that shit, right?
him and
So
Max. Max is
we
a
we
big
even did a bet
gambler.
up there and we lost. I lost $100. I'm like, dude, these guys are funny, dude.
I gave them my money in Argentina too. I was like, yeah, there's $100. Do what you guys want with it. Like they were doing the craziest bets. Like
Dude,
throughout, it was like a fourth liner to have like two shots in a game, and I'm like, that's not gonna hit. They're like, yeah, but it pays out like it's plus 1,400, and I'm like, yeah, but it's because he sees 3 minutes of ring time. That's why it's plus
Yeah,
1,400, and it's in the D zone the whole time. Those dudes are
they're wild, dude. So yeah, so our team messages are still going through right now. Like, Dumore say people were like, they're showing pictures of like the girls and stuff, and like, going out to dinner and stuff, and world fucking champion still, baby, like all the good stuff,
yeah.
right? Like miss you boys, miss the breakfasts and all that good stuff.
family, right?
Yeah, just so good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is Kim in that group chat?
Tim's in that too. And
He's funny. He sends some
Tim,
funny stuff. He's like
yeah,
dry humor, but it's funny.
oh yeah, he's on it, dude. He's funny. Like as soon as somebody posts something, like he'll have like a meme for it right away, and just like, oh, dude, that's hilarious, right? Um, yeah, and then I sent out a message like I think yesterday, and I was like, hey, I heard there's a new rule, like the team that you won it with is a locked rostered for China next year,
Yeah, there you go. I
Morte is
mean,
like yeah, he's like I'm booking my flight now, thanks, Sensei. It's like let's do it, so. Like again, if I get picked to represent again, dude, I'm gonna fucking work my ass off again and take it serious again because I know the teams will be better and um they'll have like a stronger team for sure. So, but again, if this is my last one, dude, I'm so stoked. Like this was like just the cherry on the topping. Like I didn't never expected to be 36 and represent US. I thought that window was I thought that door was shut and here we are now, like a little bit of hard work, a little bit of just working in the lab. Like this is what it can do, man. Like you just have the love for it and you just keep on putting the work in. Like, dreams do come true, like Mike Nidar says, the best is yet to come, the best is yet to come, the best is yet to come, which is like the coolest quote that you can get. Like, even if you think you're
you
the
sh
highlight of your life, the best is yet to come,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I think that quote should go in the dojo just
it,
because, like, everything that you've done in your career too, like, and
yeah,
you're doing now, like, kids see that, like when they're young, they might not like understand that right now, but when they get more into the sport, they're gonna be like, fucking
I have
Sensei
that.
Itan. Yeah, Sensei Itan is that guy, and a lot of people like, it's crazy how much support you really do have around the world.
It's
So
inspiring, honestly. It
yeah,
really is.
and the
It really
last dance, yeah, it couldn't be the last dance just because how
is.
you ended. I mean, you got, one PAMA Pro, you won Team USA, you got to do it again now. So
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, everybody's going for the trifecta, but I think the trifecta's out the window, in my opinion. Like, because the whole tourist thing and the rinks and all that, and like,
it's too
you know,
hard.
I know they did a better job this year. But I don't know. I know I look at tours as like a warm-up tournament. A lot of players that just haven't been playing roller hockey and they're just getting their blades back in and they're just trying to figure out their wheels to get ready for Narch and the State Wars. So I love the double IHS right now, like where we get to go, and if it's hopefully it still happens, but being able to go to Europe for the first tournament of the summer and gel with the boys
Yeah.
and go have a European trip and go play against other teams that you haven't played against is a sweet move. And I think a lot of these pro teams should do the same thing. I mean, if they can, that should be the trip they go to because it's just like the Czech one. It was cool. The Switzerland one was by far the best one. Like we
Heard
literally
that.
had,
Yeah. I heard it's amazing there. Like
yeah,
the
we had you when you guys heard probably on other people's opinion, like hotel was connected to the rink. We had bikes from the hotel, so we were just biking the whole time. There was like a lake right there that was like freezing cold, so
yeah.
that was
Travis
our
jumped
ice
in it,
bath.
right?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
jumping in
he jumped
there.
in it. Yeah.
Switzerland, literally like throw a rock over to the next to basically to Germany, and we're hanging out
That's
in
sick.
Germany doing like jumping off like the bridges and stuff, and like there was parties like basically everybody was hanging out on like the strip of where the water was at. So again, like Hosil man does a great job of like picking these good spots, and I think he's trying to bring like the double IHF back. That's why I think he has the double IHS. He's
Yeah,
because he has the same rules and everything as well. The big
yeah,
nets, the
Jesus, world
offsides.
net. Yep.
Yeah, so he's trying to build it. So I think it's just like an
And it
easy.
has good streaming and like he's doing it right, which is
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it's cool, and he's
great
putting
guy.
some money in. He's not winning any. He's not really breaking that much out of it because I mean, he's he's getting some like better places that equivalent to the world
Yeah. I mean,
skate.
better than tours. I mean,
Yeah,
you can just put
yeah,
it out there. Like
Yeah,
you're not playing a game at 2 in the morning. You're not having a rink flooded. You're getting treated like a pro, how a pro is, how a pro should be treated.
yeah,
And I think like, and it's great to hear you say that too, because I think that thing should be talked more about in the sport. Like we've talked about the Canada situation, and I'm vocal about it. Like there's just something wrong that needs to be fixed. Same exact stuff with tournaments, like in Europe, they can do it better if, like that compared to tours. So to warm up, yeah, why not go out there, have a good
yeah. No, I'll support that all day, man. I just love like that's kind of like the question of like this is the last dance. Like no, dude, like our sport's not even where I want it to be or where it should be. Like we have a lot of work for it to make it to where it needs to be and stuff, where we all see it where it should be. So again, it's just like doing my part, like like the Yoder's doing his part, doing his thing. He started like a pro league and stuff. He's trying to push that, like the RHASL here in California. Just little things. The GCU impact they have in that college thing.
seriously. Yeah, they
So
do
we
a
just
really good job at that too.
yeah, we played against them. That's why I wanted to chat about that a little bit as well. Dude, he organized like a little tour for his college group, and he came to California, and we played in that Ventura outdoor tournament
yeah.
yesterday, which was sick because they got
Yeah,
this sport court that it's not slippery at all. A little bit. I mean, it was
It's
or next
outdoor,
to a
like you can.
farm where it's like it's all dirt and stuff. So eventually they had to like intermission it and clean it up a little bit. But dude, like the atmosphere of like outdoor hockey
sick.
on sport court, dude,
Yeah,
it was the coolest thing. And GCU had like 4 or 5 different teams because it was like a little Ironman tournament. And then today we did an intermission game or like expedition game of Dangl Dojo versus the GCU at West Covina. I couldn't make it because I had ice hockey I was coaching, but I was able to assemble some players. And then he got like his team to like just get some games in.
Yeah,
And so the cool thing, like what he's doing is like players like people like him, people like your guys self are trying to make an impact in their lane and like he's trying to do it for college and stuff. So you guys are trying to grow the game worldwide, right? Like you're trying to just, connect the pieces where it will fit right. So
yeah,
again, like I guess just I'm here for the long haul, man. I want our sport to get the recognition it can get and stuff. I still think like our sport should be, look at your guys' like background screen. Like those rings are
yeah,
too big. They're way too
yeah,
big. At
yeah,
the end of the day,
right.
they're
Yeah,
way
that
too big.
makes
Like
sense.
when we played against Italy at the double IHS, there was a big rink like this, and then there was a small rink for the second one, and we played against Italy, and they boxed it up. And you know how hard that was to like try to beat that. They scored on us
No
first, and
improvement.
then we had to
Yeah,
try to beat the box, and then again we had to get dirty with it. And that
and it's
game was
entertaining to watch too. In that,
100%. It really is
right.
entertaining to watch because you try to do a move and then you get it stolen away, like taken away. You're not going the opposite way, like instantly, and then you're 1-2 pass, and then you're getting a shot off,
Yeah,
right? So, but yeah, no, like,
there's
yeah,
work to be done.
a lot of
yeah.
work to be done for
Definitely,
sure. A lot
definitely.
of work to be done. So I just like want to give shout out to like Aiden and stuff and the JCU, like what he's doing and stuff. And he even gave me an idea. I was like, man, there's one championship I haven't won yet, and that was college hockey. So maybe I'll start up a community college out here.
Oh,
What a
yeah.
recruiter, man! What a
Yeah,
recruiter.
yeah.
Start an
So
academy at the dojo, man.
yeah,
Start a
we were
hockey
chatting
academy
it
at
up
the dojo.
yesterday. He's like telling me all the insights of like how to get it going and stuff. So
Yeah.
you might see Dangle Dojo. You might see some of the guys from the dojo
Partnering with some
a
community
college team.
college or something.
Yeah, you might see like a
Partner.
40-year-old college guy like walking myself out there, beating against these guys. But
After
no,
after NCRHA hears this, they're gonna be doing a rule change like
Yeah.
ASAP. They're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna have to figure this out.
but that's the cool thing about it too, though, is like players like Aiden and stuff. Like once he builds something like that, dude, say somebody comes in and starts their own college thing, he can
Yeah,
just remove that and go to the next one here. So again,
exactly.
it's if we get more people like that, and that's kind of like the idea that I have, like I'm trying to figure out like it's like in ice hockey, right? The kids play Skaha, they play like the club hockey, and then they go to, like U16, U18, then juniors, and then they go to maybe hopefully make into like some type of pro. Like we need some type of pathway for roller, like whether
Progression.
it's like middle school to high
You're right.
school to
Yeah.
college, and then the U.S. development team, and then then maybe there's a pro league somewhere. Like if that's where we have to get on the same page. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like the idea where I'm like where I see Aiden, I'm like, dude, he has something going, man. Like dude, his boys, bro, they have this chant and everything. I feel like they're like a
Yeah,
they're
I will say a lot of people give him shit. But he puts a lot of work into the sport and it shows. They won D1 national championships
huge,
against
awesome.
Lindenwood. But to your point, he builds a culture, he builds something that kids want to come to. And I've talked to him so many times about different things. And he's a great brain to pick, has
Yeah,
great ideas. But like you said, these guys are all committed. There's no other school that's going on a tour to play other teams. Like he came up to Denver 2 years ago. My Demon Dogs team played him. We just threw
yeah,
together some teams in, but like that, there needs to be more people in there willing to risk it. Just try it. And I think people are afraid to like what other people think. Like fuck
yeah,
what they think. Who cares what
sure.
anybody thinks?
Yeah,
And
Do your thing.
yeah, and now, look at him. He's a D1 national champion. He's built
huge.
a college program, which is
That's
pretty
it.
yeah, it's sick and it's motivation. And now like you have a rink which like I can't wait to know what happens in 5 years. Like I see, like Dangl Dojo being like a full rink. You know what I
Yeah, no,
mean?
we have something working right now. We're trying to work with it, like we're trying to work on something right now. And now that we have the Steel Mountain deal, dude, it's like it's gonna be a little bit closer to having like our own little rink. Just gotta figure out the hardest thing is right, it's like the overhead, right? You can't
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, these other rinks and stuff, I'm sure they're paying like 30, 40,000 bucks a month just to keep those
Yeah. It's
places open
ridiculous.
and they're, doing volleyball and whatever and do whatever whatnot. But dude, it's tough. So you really got to strategize. Like the dojo, even though it's like 3,500 bucks for the month, but still like you still gotta like get people in the door to pay that,
Yeah,
like
you
you
got
still
to
got
do that, and you're putting your time in too. Like we talked about it pretty like open,
yeah,
like it's a lot of time. But the good thing is with you, Aiden, all of us like hockey lifers, right? Like we'll put the time in and all the effort in the world, and as long as we get some sort of like you gratitude out of it, that's all like we need, right?
Keeps you
Like we're
going.
not in this, yeah,
yeah.
we're not
I
in this
just
to make millions, right? So
yeah,
it's
no,
it's it's about growing the game and getting it to like where you said like it needs to be. And it can be because with how social media is now, like there's so many more eyes on it now, like than there was back in, the early 2000s, even, right? When, now you should be able to play roller hockey as a standalone sport. It shouldn't need to be, oh, it's what I do in the summer because I don't play ice hockey, right? They
right.
play ice hockey all year round in my area. Like you can't compete with that. You need to kind of be your own standalone. And it is like it's an awesome sport to be a part of. And I think until you get like people like you and other people, everyone needs to come together, put their brains together, and just be like, hey, here's the path, and like we need to do this now in order for it to live. Right at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's like watering a plant.
No, for sure. I just for me it's like, just living through like the roller hockey, being the roller hockey guy, right? And I think I told you guys this before, like a long time ago when I was like living in France, I ran into CJ Yoder at a European championship and I'm like, hey man, like I'm in the in between. Should I go play ice hockey and go try to do that or should I just do roller hockey? And the advice CJ told me, he's like, man, you're the roller guy, man. He's like, you need to stick to roller hockey and try to help grow this sport out and stuff. So it's always stuck in the back of my mind to like help out and like try to figure something out and to like again grow have a path for roller hockey like whether it's middle school and to the end is like college and college with the US development or the USA team into maybe a pro league, a California pro league or something where European players are coming down to us now instead of us going over there and playing. So I don't know. I just like I'm really gonna fight, and I'm with like keeping the relationship with you guys, and just trying to connect the dots here. Like it'd be really cool to see the sport, in 10, 15 years, like in a whole another shape. Like just
We see
paid
that.
athletes, kids
Yeah.
getting scholarships, kids having a roller hockey players are actually going to Olympics or
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
have a spot like representing roller hockey really well and taking it as like a serious sport.
Yes.
Like where I give the European teams respect and all the European, they're working out and they're just training for roller hockey. they're literally playing all year round just to play roller hockey and be in good shape and stuff. So that's why you're seeing all these like these younger teams like Spanish being like the top because like they're playing hockey all year round. Seeing Taipei, which is cool, and we didn't touch bases on them, but seeing
Biggest
Taipei.
fans of Itan, man. I tell you what.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait, man. We'll be there in Asia. We'll be there in January, so I'm looking forward to that. But no, seeing those kids rip it up, and the Spanish players and the French players and the Italian players, like all they're hanging. They're there. They're right there, man. And they're putting in the work. They're treating roller hockey like their pro sport, which is really cool. So again, we've all talked about if we can bring that type of style to the United States, would be really cool. And I think what Dan has going on with the RHASL is pretty cool. The thing that, Yoder has going with him eventually, I think that's what it needs to happen. I think if people are building their own type of leagues and eventually it's there, here comes the merger,
Comes
Yeah.
together, yeah, at some point.
exactly right. You build your
Yeah.
own, okay, cool. This makes sense. Let's bring it together here. And maybe
Mhm.
that's what it takes is a bunch of people to start some stuff up and then come together and be like, okay, this works out for everybody. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool to see middle school. It'd be cool to see high school. It'd be cool to see
Yeah.
college in the Narch tournaments and the state war tournaments, or just like, seeing people represent another division.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be pretty cool to get
Yeah.
back to that level.
They kind of had it this year at State Wars with like the regions for the USNDP, right?
To
Playing against,
start.
Yeah,
which is like, yeah,
that's cool.
we all did growing up, right? With like
Yeah,
AAU and stuff. And like I always say that I feel like RHI was just like before its time, right? Like I think now that it's a different game. It's not guys wearing shoulder pads and like shorts playing roller hockey, right? As cool as pro beach hockey is and stuff, like if you were to have that same kind of thing now without the gimmicky ramps and stuff, like it would be so sick to watch. Like it's
oh, for
showcased so
sure,
well,
for
right?
sure. Our
Like
our our sport's a little dorky at times. Like last
Yeah.
night, we were at Ventura yesterday, and this guy showed up in a dinosaur outfit wearing skates and stuff. And I'm like, this is so funny. And then the guys, not only that, but just like the guys chirping on the rink, like these adult guys, like
yeah,
one of the guys on GCU, there was like 10 seconds left, and the guy screamed, three, two, one. The guy shoots the puck, and there's still like 7 seconds on the time. And he goes, hey, ref, that's unsportsmanlike. You can't do that. And we're all like, what? Like,
Yeah.
like, dude, like, pick your
Yeah.
head up and look at the time, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
It's hockey.
it's hockey, dude. So like people like bantering like back and forth. And I looked at Laura and I'm like, are we just like the upgraded version of ball hockey? Like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't
Oh,
want to
shots
say it.
fired.
I didn't want to say it, but
Oh, dude, no,
Yeah.
we get
because
I mean,
like
we got all we have those guys in every like league or like rec league or
100%,
tournament.
100%.
yeah.
Ice
Yeah, I
hockey,
mean,
everything.
yeah,
Ball's a different breed, though. It is. It's
Ball's a
like
different breed, dude.
guys show up with like equipment. You're like, dude, you shouldn't even be playing hockey with that. Like,
100%. Yeah. Everybody's
but
big
that's
slap
a
shot guys in ball hockey.
yeah. Oh
So
my
it's
god.
funny, man. I cracked up on that, but like I don't know. I think our image needs to be like like the parking lot drinking and stuff at these tournaments and stuff. As cool it is like to catch up with friends and have a cold one and stuff, but like leaving all the trash in like the parking lots and like
yeah, it's not cool.
Feels
families coming in and coming for the first time and then looking at people like you know ripping blunts and stuff and like
yeah.
drinking and it's all there. So it's like it's not really a good look. So seeing like that beer garden being a little bit more uniformed was really cool to see that at Narch and stuff. And then like the bars at tours and stuff and at state wars with the concession stands. Yeah, it's a little bit more uniform. It's a little bit doesn't look too edgy or too like like ghetto and stuff. So
Yeah.
uh, I don't know. I think we just like the culture and stuff. It's just we have it going on. We just gotta
You just
we just
got to
gotta
upgrade it, and
upgrade
you
a little
It's
bit.
just
there.
yeah, be more professional and stuff. But you're 100% right. You don't want to walk into the rink, and I think we've all been there when we were younger. Like we're mid 30s. Why we don't really too much need to do that anymore. But I get it when you're with your boys, and you're at an adult tournament. But when there are kids coming around, there's people coming around, and you're trying to grow the game. It might be a little harder at that point when you have that
Yeah,
stuff going on.
yeah, yeah. There's like a lot of things too. Like I think
Yeah.
what like. like back in the day, right? I think Treff, I think we're at a tournament, tourist tournament, and I'm like, "What's up with there's no pro?" He's like, "It's not even about the pros, or it's not even about the adults." He's like, "You're playing in a kids tournament," and I was like, "Oh, dude, like that's like, like all
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
that's what it's
All
about
right.
right there, So like
Yeah.
that's why I'm like on the tournament side of it, like I love competing, love tournaments and stuff. It just has to be a little something different where I don't know, maybe there's another pathway for another
Yeah.
competition
I
and
mean,
so I don't know. Again, we all want to help the sport and do the thing. We got to appreciate we do got to appreciate these tournaments that are, kept us all connected or, got to meet each other and keep us our competitive edge going. But yeah, I don't know. I think for our sport to do something, um, you know, bigger, we really got to really got to figure something out. And I don't know. I'll keep on off the chat and stuff. We'll definitely like,
Yeah.
we'll pick each other's
right.
brains and stuff and all that. But yeah, no, I mean, if anybody else has ideas out there, like please contact me and like I would love to, chat some ideas and whatever we can do to try to grow this game because dude, this game is so sick. Like when it's played right, it is a beautiful game. A lot of people said that Czech game was actually a really good game to watch at the end of the day, so that was
It
cool.
was, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I heard World Skate they're making new rules for their event. I heard that they're making like a
Probably
track.
two new commentators. Like we just got to get two new commentators. I think that's rule number one. Like they wouldn't commentate any USA games except for the championship. And it's kind of annoying. Like you just kind of want to hear about like USA is the pinnacle. Everyone, I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure everybody watched the USA game because it's Team USA.
Yeah.
When you have to watch a game, and we're just talking about elevating the sport, when this is at the World Championships, and you can't hear anything about Itan, Travis Snow, Redmond, you're just listening to pucks hit the. It's like no shit, it's
Well,
not gonna grow.
then here we go. Then we talk about these sponsors that are instead of them paying $1,000 to go to these like tournaments or whatever or whatnot. Okay, then pay these commentators to go to these tournaments and
Exactly.
their own channel. Now they're talking about your sponsor. You're talking about your brand, but they don't have to talk about your brand. But they're also just
Yeah.
commentating on news, and then Champion's the one sponsoring it, or Labeda's the one. You're going to see a bunch of Labeda commercials throughout the intermissions and stuff and all that, or whoever company wants to do it. But again, you build on that media side of it. Maybe that's a little idea where
That's
Yeah.
now they're picking what we want to hear. Now they're picking the two
exactly.
guys right here that
Yeah.
instead of just doing it on social media live, you guys are actually at the tournament now, and you are giving game by play or play by play. You're going behind
Nightly
the scenes.
recaps, like
You're in.
whatever it
You're
is,
in
right?
the
Like you're in
environment.
through
So
our whole thing, like, and we've always said this is like when we go to a tournament, we do what we can with what we have, right?
yeah,
Like we're flying ourselves out there on our own dimes, all that stuff. Like we want to bring you into the tournament to be like, fuck, I didn't go to Narch and I should have gone to Narch. Shit, I didn't go to State Wars. Damn, I would have loved to go, whatever it is, right? Like
yeah,
that's the whole idea is to bring it into your living room, right? And I think like to all this to tie it all in, like if there is more of that, the sport's going to grow naturally. But I think to your point too, there needs to be a level of professionalism. Like how cool is it? Like as annoying as it can be, when you're done that USA game, you do your celebration, you come out. How many people are lined up begging you for equipment, whatever it is, because they don't have the privilege to have that stuff. But like you're like, damn, like it's a small community, but it's bigger than you think too. At the end of the day,
yeah.
like those kids like love the fact that they get a USA glove or hat or shirt, or whatever jersey,
Yeah, that
etc.
girl, I think you guys had a videographer from Australia.
It's
Yeah,
funny,
Skater
dude.
FX. Yeah,
The funniest lady, like seeing her videos and hear her in the background, I was
Dude, did you
cracked.
see that one video she posted? Like, suck my balls, USA. Did you hear
yeah,
that?
The Amer the
America.
yeah,
Yeah,
America.
They were sending it
America.
to me. They're like, "Hey,
Fuck
can we
yeah.
repost this?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "We can't repost this on the account. Like, this is the exact opposite of what we want
Yeah,
to
I was like,
repost
what's
on."
going on here, man?
Yeah.
Like
But
somebody asked me, like, can you pick the music for her? I'm like,
yeah,
dude.
that's what they were like asking us for suggestions from like the USAR side. They're like, "Can you give us like songs to use?" But to your point, like I think they're like at every level, like it would be cool if there was a little more uniformity, like kind of like how USA hockey's done in it. And obviously everything's always going to have downfalls and people are always going to have issues with certain things. But at the end of the day, there is a path in ice hockey, and it would be sick if there is a better path in roller hockey. And I think that starts at the top with professionalism and things like that, and just keeping it consistent. Like I think there's a lot to be said about what you were mentioning and kind of the whole kind of encompassing this whole wrap up here. So
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I could talk for days about roller hockey, and I can just, I know where was a USA segment, but at the same time, I had to put in my two
right,
cents about like little things that on top of my
listen,
mind. But
we love it, dude. We
no,
said
it's
Oh,
cool, man.
yeah,
when I
no,
was
I think you
yeah,
are right. And if it is to come from anybody, it's someone to come from like you too, that actually, I mean, let's like I said earlier, like you're the original, like for us growing up, a lot of the kids that were born from, 87 even to like 99, 2000s. You're the one that we watched on YouTube because that, you started that, and people are very familiar with you. They know who you are. They know that name. So when they see you doing these things, I think that's a really huge testament to the sport, and it makes them believe more into the sport. It's like, hey, Itan's opened up his own Dangl Dojo. Hey, now he's opened up, another place to it where there's, it's not two, but you own the other one, so now it's bigger. He's expanding, and it's like it's cool to see someone like you doing it, the Yoders doing it, that are legends in the sport, and that have that's been there and that's done it. So huge kudos to you. I think it's really cool, especially growing up watching you everywhere. It's like, damn, this dude's living everybody's dream now, owning a rink. And, I can't wait for the future to see what else it's going to be.
No, thanks, and dude, awesome. You guys always show the love, which is amazing and it's cool. But love to show you guys love too, man. Like you guys are always, this is cool. Like what you guys started and like what you created for this community.
You
It's
were our
awesome.
first interview. You and your brother were our first
Dude,
interview.
that's wild, dude. That's
I was
so
Yeah.
before
cool.
I bet you guys were on before I was on. So
Oh
that's
man, if I was a tattoo guy, I probably would have a roller dad tattoo
I
already.
I
But
just
think,
had one. Yeah, someone
I
just got
saw
one
that,
from
dude.
my area. Kid Brian
That's
Beaton got a roller dad tattoo. He
rad,
yeah.
dude.
about it.
Mm,
Rad.
Dude,
I
got some.
love people like that. Just fucking don't give a shit. They're like, that's
Listen,
dude,
I said it earlier, hockey lifers, right? But like again, one of the things that we'll wrap it up here with everything is like it's a community, and the community still is sick in my opinion. It's still like the best community to be a part of because the people you meet, the places it's taken you, like fuck, you were just in Italy playing roller hockey, like
Yeah,
you
going to
could tell
China
that to
in
someone random in
January.
the street. Yeah, like you could tell that someone random in the street, they have hockey in Italy. They wouldn't say roller hockey. They'd be like, they have hockey in Italy. Like nobody even knows that. And you've got to go to there. I've been to China. Like when am I ever going to go to China? Never. Like it was only because
right,
of roller
right.
hockey.
And it's great. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
No, I
ahead.
was saying just the people you meet, right? At the end of the day, like
Yeah.
fuck,
And
dude. Like I was able to message you, and be like, hey, I want to come up and like showcase the Dangle Dojo, and like we sat there and probably talked for hours more about than what we saw, right? Just a little like kind of cribs edition of it. So it's
sure.
just cool to like pick people's brains, sit down, you know, learn about the sport, learn about things you're doing, your views and everything. Like I think it's just so fucking cool.
That's cool, man. I just think, more content, the better, and like more channels like your guys' self. I just look at, we talked about it before, skateboarding, there's so many different channels. There's so many videographers out there at these events and they're getting their own footage and they're putting their own clips out. That's what we kind of have to do. Like, we got to have all these different filmers, like that lady from Australia doing her thing. Like, that's her own style. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's her style, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
And you guys
Whatever.
have your style. Everybody has their own little style and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the sponsors like pay more attention on the media side of it because at the end of the day, that's where it's at. And
That's where it's going.
I know you guys would give out some great content. You guys do great content just for the love of the game. So again, if a trip's paid for or something, and a little special treatment behind the scenes. I mean,
All it
people
is.
want to see it. That's why I went live stream when
That
it
was
was.
sick. That
And
was sick
Yeah,
to
put
like,
it
and,
watch.
over it on
and
there
people
like
are,
click.
yeah, people are seeing me with my phone and stuff. I'm like, I don't care. Like, this is
Yeah.
the people the 14 people that are watching, whatever. That's
Who
cool. At least they
cares?
got the
For those
experience, the world
14 people, that
championship.
was it. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what matters. Like, if you can impact one kid who jumped in on that and he's like, damn, I want to do that and I want to be on Team USA one day and I want to win a national championship. Like, you can inspire someone to do that with just like something so subtle as like an Instagram live video for 15, 20 minutes,
it
whatever
was
it is.
awesome, dude. I heard you guys did like the best watch party or something. You guys did something. Tim was telling me something about a watch party.
Yeah, there was
Test you guys.
so there was watch parties for the championship men's game.
Yeah.
Forget oh my gosh, I should know this because I was the one who like saw was tagged in all the stuff. But I know there's a pretty big one. I mean, we had it on at my rank, which was cool because
Yeah,
like
and throws it up at the rink all the time. It's
yeah, I
over.
literally have
Yeah,
it on nonstop.
that's
Like
cool.
people, I'll put like PAMA games on. People are like, yo, is this live right now? I'm like, no, I'm just like putting it on because it's a roller hockey rink and I want roller hockey on the TV. I don't
That's
care if the
awesome.
Eagles are blowing it to the Buccaneers right now. Like, I don't give a shit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, there was a pretty big one in California. I
Made my
know
girlfriend watch it. She had no idea what was going on, but you know,
but there was a pretty big one in Cali. I know oh my gosh, I can't remember her name. You could probably help me out, but she was tagging us in a lot of stuff. She's one of your I guess her son or something plays at the dojo. But I know she had a bunch of people over for it as well. I can't remember her name. We'll have to credit her after this. But
Yeah, yeah. Well, we had a watch party at the dojo, dude, which is like
yeah,
oh,
she was the one tagging
unreal,
us in.
dude.
I can't remember her name though.
Marianne?
Yeah, maybe. I'll have to look through the DMs real quick.
Yeah,
But
dude, that right there was like the coolest thing. I came back to the dojo and all the kids had like these like signs like "Go Itan." Somebody even drove like drew a picture of myself with like the hair hanging out from like the hat, the little mustache,
I love it.
and like "Go USA, Go Itan." Like, dude, it was like seeing that and like going. I think I went FaceTime on them and I was able because yeah, that's why I FaceTime Candace and she was there and all the kids are like screaming after, dude. Like, bro, like that's the reason why I wanted to be on the Team USA. Like for those kids back there at the dojo that had
Yeah.
no idea about Team USA roller hockey, and now they're inspired. Maybe one day, like they keep on putting the work. They can probably play there one day, and so that was the whole goal, and to see that, man, that was like the coolest thing ever, man. Like just to see the dojo filled up. Everybody brought some chairs. It had to be like 20 people, like 25
That's
people
so
there.
sick.
It was like cool, and everybody's sitting in the rink with, and they brought a projector on our new white walls that we just painted, and it
Oh,
was cool. So
that's
that was
dope.
like that's the reason why the USA thing felt so great for like a moment like that right there, and
yeah, it's the reason you do it at the end of the
yeah,
day, right?
that was the reason to do it. So I just want to thank like first of all, I just want to like thank like Team USA, you SARS, I mean Charlie. Like I heard his name's not even Charlie, it's Charlie.
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 It's just a
Charlie.
Philly thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Bob.
Laura was saying that yesterday. He's like Charlie. I'm like, where did that accent come
Yeah.
from?
It's a Philly thing, like
It's
in New
Charlie.
England, just
Yeah,
chop. Like, yeah, so
Charlie.
just get
Yeah.
chopped.
So I just want to like shout out to like those guys and Tim and Thompson and all that and Resky and all those guys like that. Just like
It's nice seeing Resky there. That was pretty sick.
dude, yeah, it was OG to see Resky there, man. He's
Yeah,
just
yeah, seriously.
he just class A, man, all day, man. Had everything all hooked up, like the tapes and my favorite thing he had was the big league chew, like the big.
Oh,
Man, I was crushing those all
Yeah,
day.
it's like you're in a Dick's Sporting
I'm
Goods
a big I'm a
every
big gum chewer in the game. I had
okay.
like two or three pieces, and I'm like, I need the freshness, like all that sugar. But no, just wanted to like shout out to my teammates and stuff. I mean, if anybody was watching this and stuff, it was an honor to play with them, and man, just like again, just getting the job done and just being able to experience it with the young bucks and stuff. It was an honor, and it was something that I'll never forget because you never take advantage of the situation because you never know when it's going to be your last time. So definitely a good thing to do it one last time or just to do it. Just get out there and do it at my age
Yeah.
um, and just want to thank my teammates. So it was a really cool thing to come together in 10 days and get the job done. So,
Awesome.
yeah, go Team USA, right? Let's
There
go.
we go.
And
Well,
congrats to
hey,
the women's as well and the juniors and everybody. So,
USA's back on top too, so that's all that
yeah,
matters right now. And we just want to say, thank you for joining the pod. And this is, I think it's probably been one of the best pods, getting on into all the roller stuff too, talking about that, and really appreciate you opening up about that. Not a lot of players like to open up about that, and I think that's huge for our game to get to the next level where people can be themselves. And I think you're a prime example of that. Is you've always been yourself. There's never acted like anybody else, and I think it's one thing that I appreciate about you too. So, thank you again for joining the pod and we'll see you at the next tournament.
dude, for sure. And what's the plans for you guys this summer? Are you guys trying to get more coverage? What's the plan? What do you guys
Yeah,
any
that's
big any
Yeah,
big
so I will say we have something, I'll just say it. We're trying to do something big with Mission, that's coming
I
out.
heard about that. I heard
Yeah,
I,
so
I heard they're trying to make a big impact, so that's huge.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're trying to plan something about that. We talked to them at State Wars, so maybe we'll be up at HQ and doing some,
I would love to see that. Like that's like that. Those are like the collabs I want to see and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that was
yeah,
like the stuff with like Labeda and stuff. Like I was asking if they can make our own like a dojo. Like I don't want to be like a have my own dojo wheel. I want it to say Labeda X dojo,
exactly.
like a collab
Yeah.
like you see in the golfing and
Mhm.
stuff, you know. And
Yeah,
like that's what more collabs should be like a mission in RD, you know, like that
yeah,
would
Yeah.
be
yeah.
insane.
We're
Like
trying to do some. We can't like don't want to say too much to the general
no, for
public about
sure.
it, but yeah, we're trying to do something. We'll message you off air what we're gonna
Some
try to do.
collabs, like apparel and stuff. Like, dude, who would
Yeah.
want to rock like a clean,
Yeah,
nice mission
And
filled t-shirt with like with your guys' logo on it as well? Like
yeah.
that we did the Maven Dangle Dojo t-shirt. Like I love that stuff. Like that's just a cool thing to do. Like all those
It
collabs.
grows the game too. It grows the
yeah.
game in both areas. And then one other thing we're gonna try to do too is some European coverage, like actually going over there. I know Lionel with my FMT, he does an unreal job at like covering it. We want to do, a little project over there, about a two
Yeah.
week project.
Oh, man,
So
I wish that guy like again. I wish he wasn't capped off at just one tournament. I wish he can go to like all
Yeah.
the tournaments. He
yeah,
like
dude,
Yeah, that'd be
seriously.
oh,
nice.
he is magic, dude. He has his style of it, and like
Yeah, no, you're
to
right.
And it's
get all
perfect
those
like every
moments and
time.
different angles would be insane. Like imagine that angle he would have gotten like the game winning goal or something, or like
Hmm.
one of the playoff goals that was a huge one, just from his
Yeah,
style of it would have been just like
yeah,
iconic. You know, it would have
And
been
I
the way he
and I think like
brings
just
it. So
more coverage in general, like you talked about it when you first started off, like the fact that there isn't a better angle other than like what was on the live stream and maybe like a couple other cameras pointing at it, right? Like for that entire game, like no edit about like that's the stuff that we want to get more into because that's what people need to see, right? At the end of the day, and that's what we want to showcase.
yeah.
So
And the lifestyle and like the stuff behind it, and like
yeah,
more like the roller personality. Like what is like people know only a glimpse of what it is to play in Europe or play in a pro league, and it's like, oh, why can't we bring that here? So yeah, a couple projects. I would say one, that European thing and mission hockey are our two big things that we really want to do, and then. I think there's some ideas we want to definitely we'll talk to you about, how we can grow the game here in the United States, because think there's work to be done, and I think it's just getting the right people involved. That's it.
that's for sure, man. Yeah,
So
the round table, right?
it,
Let's build
yeah,
the round table for
we
sure.
love Ryan's roundtable discussions. That's like
yeah,
our
we'll do it. We'll do it. Well, hey, we appreciate you joining the pod. This has been a unreal pod, a lot of info, and yeah, like I said, we'll see you guys at the next one. Okay.
All right, sounds good, man. Thanks for having me, guys. Always a pleasure talking to you
congratulations
guys.
again, man, as
Yeah.
always.
All right.
Congrats.
Well, wait one sec before we leave. Let's go. Where are we at? Where are we at? Oh, there we go.
Ah, yeah. I thought you
There
were gonna
we
wear it.
go.
I thought you were gonna wear it the whole time.
Hey, ask Kraft where his is at, okay? So
Oh.